Hello, welcome to this your channel, the better Eurofan. That's me. Switzerland is right now living a phase of resurgence, in which it seems like those years of continued disqualifications in the semi-finals are left behind. The dramatic and avant-garde proposal presented to us by Nemo 4 in last year's contest have granted him a spot in the grand final, although ultimately placing 20th. Even with this modest result, Switzerland stays present in the contest, aiming to keep improving their results. Let's see now who will take the baton by representing this time to the Helvetic nation of Malmo. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Swiss entry for Eurovision 2024, which will be represented by singer and rapper Nemo with the song The Code. I want to clear out before I start that I will use to pronounce their and their equivalents throughout the episode. You will know later why. Having said this, let's start by reviewing the biography and career of Dave before representing the Alpine nation on Sweden. Nemo Mentler, mostly well-known by their name, is a Swiss hip-hop and pop singer, songwriter and rapper, coming from the city of Biel, or Vienne, located in northwestern Switzerland, and currently living in the German capital Berlin. Since very early age, they showed a huge interest in music. In fact, besides singing, they also play violin, piano and drums, which is quite surprising. And also, I think that if they would like it, they will be able to play much more musical instruments. They will start a musical career in 2015 with the release of their first EP, self-produced and self-release, with which they will start to get recognition very quickly in their native country. Then they will sign a record deal with a local record label, with which they will release after 2 EPs during 2017. Several of the tracks of these 2 musical works have achieved not only a remarkable performance in the musical charts, but also receiving several awards of the Swiss musical industry, becoming then a true revelation among the country's musical scene. During the following years, they would release many non-album singles, until having certain turning point in their musical career in 2020. They will start to compose songs in English, as in their beginnings they have had composed mostly in German, and they will also start to collaborate with other artists, even writing songs for those artists in the process. Then in 2022 they will release their first EP fully in English, the 4 overall if we count the previous 3 in German, once again self-produced and self-release, being most pop oriented with hip-hop reminiscences in comparison with their previous releases. Apart from their musical career, they also had a first incursion in television by participating in the 2nd season of the Swiss version of The Masked Singer, having placed 5th at the end of the season. Now you must be wondering how is that they get involved with Eurovision by becoming the representative for Switzerland. Now let's take a further look in detail. Given the habit of recent years, the Swiss public broadcaster would opt once again for an internal selection to pick the next Swiss representative that will travel to Sweden. The process had 2 phases. The first phase was a songwriting camp which took place between late May and early June of last year, with the goal of creating potential entries to be sent later to the broadcaster. Sometime later, the second phase will take place during August of last year, by opening the submission period for the artists and songwriters who were interested in sending their proposals, giving priority to Swiss citizens and residents. By the deadline, it was known that nearly 420 proposals were received according to the broadcaster, which will be later reviewed by 2 groups of viewers, a national one and an international one, and a 25-member international jury as well. In early last December, it was known that 5 entries, without disclosing artists nor songs, will reach the final stage of the process, being recorded and produced in the recording studios of the broadcaster, and then the same panel selecting among these the Swiss entry for the contest. Almost 3 months will pass without having more news on the selection process for the representative, keeping any information strictly tight-lipped. However, when the announcement date was close in late last February, several independent media started to give rumors on both Nemo's selection and the song's title, until these were finally confirmed by the broadcaster, with the premiere of the song and its accompanying official music video. It is a very personal track which deciphers their vital code. Now I will make a further analysis for the proposal they present for the contest. It is difficult to describe the melody in this case, because this song has pop, classical music, rap, drum and bass and even opera. Everything is that mix that it's impossible to enclose it in a specific genre. I could say that listening to the melody is comparable to riding a roller coaster, given the diversity of shades it has. Together with this, the vocal skills from Nemo are quite surprising, as it includes popular singing, declamation and classical singing. It has everything. Talking about the lyrics, it has been written by them together with a group of songwriters, from which stand out Linda Dale, which is an experienced songwriter, having co-written participating songs for both the contest and various European national finals. According to Nemo, the song is about a journey they started after realizing that was not feeling identified neither a man nor a woman, eventually discovering during that inner search that is a non-binary person, just having a feeling of freedom. This topic made conclusions to the subjects discussed in one of their previous singles, named This Body, in which addresses all their thoughts and questions about this quite complex matter. If you read the lyrics in detail, you can see how they tell the story of that search they do within themselves, breaking with the classic binary definition of man or woman, and finding their truth between the O's and ones of their binary system, as it is well said in the bridge of the song. The message has an important meaning in this case, for all those who have been or are in the same situation like Nemo, taking the song a step further, to a place in which every person can find its own truth and accept itself the way it is. At the same time, it makes awareness of the concept of gender, which is much wider of what it has been thought since ever, being also verified by many scientific researches done by psychologists and sexologists worldwide, making visibility of the wide spectrum in terms of the sexual and gender identity, and that deserves to be recognized. With a particular topic addressing this song, there was no doubt that Nemo would like to portray it in a quite unique way. After all, it is about their own personal story. Let's see how it is illustrated towards the official music video. The plot is developed inside an old-fashioned train, judging by the decoration and the furniture, where stands out in this case a map scene next to the door, tracing a route from Zurich to Malmö, in a clear allusion to the journey they will do soon to the host city of this year. During the first verse, Nemo gets into one of the carriages wearing a train assistant uniform, then about to check and validate the tickets from the passengers in that carriage. Suddenly, during the operatic part heard during the verse, some turbulences happen in the carriage, with some of the passengers getting nervous or anxious. In real life, this would not make too many sense, unless there is a storm or an earthquake just in that moment. In the first chorus, which is called, there is a sort of chaos inside the carriage, with most of the passengers being quite worried while Nemo is trying to stay calm, making a quite curious contrast. In some moment, they look to the other end of the carriage, which seems pretty lighted in particular, and decides to go there to change for the next carriage. Just in the moment they step to the other carriage, their outfit changes, then wearing a big furry pink hat, with shirts and pants having quite funny motifs. They start to declaim the second verse carelessly while they walk on the carriage. There is a moment when you realize that the carriage is the same, as there is the same furniture and the same passengers, but with a different scene. Towards the operatic part heard during the verse, they change carriage repeatedly, noticing that their appearance is different on each time. In one of those times, the scene inside the carriage is different from the others, with a festive background among the passengers while Nemo is wearing an avant-garde outfit. In the second chorus, which is more hectic, Nemo moves through the carriage among the passengers that are dancing and enjoying while drinking champagne and having canapés. With the bridge, Nemo sits in one of the seats, feeling somehow stressed by all the previous situations, while the festive environment continues in the carriage. Then they get a train ticket from somewhere which draws attention for many details. In the front appear the origin and destination previously seen in the map of the carriage, the exact date and time of the grand final, making a clear wink to their participation in the contest. The song's title, which is precisely making a contrast with the QR code in the ticket, and the back is fully silver, looking like a mirror. They wash themselves through it, and then it looks like they had a revelation after getting out suddenly from the seat. Then, during the climax of the performance with the operatic bridge heard in the bridge, the scene changes. The carriage looks completely different, being totally empty, and at the same time full of curtains and fabrics with tones between pink and white, while Nemo wears an outfit of a non-binary ballet dancer, I guess, as it combines elements of the ballet outfits both for man and woman. As they sing the operatic part, the shots are very dynamic, with Nemo dancing a freestyle ballet, which stands out as well with external lighting coming from outside the carriage. This part is the most important one, by having the ultimate meaning of the song. Nemo has finally found his identity, accepting that he's a non-binary person. This is much noticeable with the last chorus, by seeing Nemo moving through the carriages with a confidence and a conviction attitude not seen before. Here we can realize that the different carriages seen during the music video will represent the different specters of gender identity explored by Nemo in the search of its personal identity, then also explaining the different outfits seen throughout the plot, breaking precisely with the binary code, also in line with the chorus of the song. The performance finishes with Nemo wearing their non-binary ballet outfit, leaving the carriage that is now empty and without people, having concluded their inner search. Making a summary of the comments, the Swiss entry for this year is totally unique and particular, and I say this putting in value how risky, bold, and very well executed is presented this proposal. It is true that at first listen it did not raise too much interest on me, despite recognizing the several stimulations and sensations produced by the song, just like a roller coaster as I have mentioned before. But then, after having got into deep with the context behind the track, I can recognize not only its musical value, but also its artistic value. For the staging in Malmo, I can imagine this same representation done in the music video translated in the stage. I do not know if they could have so many outfit changes during the 3 minutes of the performance, but beyond that I have the feeling that they will do something I like deep and with a lot of meaning. Then there was specifically something that raised doubts in me, and I'm talking about their vocal performance live. I was intrigued on the fact that if they could really perform the song, with the difficulty that entails doing popular singing, declamation and classical singing at the same time. Their live performances came during their recent participation in the Eurovision pre-parties of the season, and there was no longer any doubt. Their vocal skills are not just magnificent, these are perfect. So much so that it is impossible to point out a single failure. In fact, the repercussion of these first live performances have been so huge that they quickly rocketed as one of the big favorites to get the crystal microphone, and the chances of them to make it are really high. Could Nemo get the third victory for the Alpine country? We must have to wait until they present their proposal on next May to know it. And you? What do you think about the Swiss entry for this year? Leave your comments down below as usual, thus we can start the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Don't forget to like this video so you can help me as well to spread it to more people. Take also a few moments to subscribe to my channel, enable notifications by hitting the bell, and find me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.